Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am back with a Follow a Sketch February layout for February the 26th. And Follow a Sketch February is through Scrapping Reflections, and you can find that on Facebook or State Goddess, who is on YouTube, and she is the one who started this a couple of years ago. This is my first year joining, and this is today's sketch. And it is a creative memory sketch. Finally, I know who it's from. And it has what looks like three pictures, some layers, some border strips, and some, like a pie, some journaling space, and just some clusters here and there. So this is the sketch. And because of the whole pie concept, I chose to go with one of my all-time favorites, which is Vicki Boutin and the Color Study, because of this paper right here. This is Color Wheel through the Color Study, and I love this. So I knew that I could cut this out, maybe fussy cut the whole thing, and then cut a couple of the pies out to use in that space. I love the colors, all the different papers that are with this collection, just so bold and bright. So that is the idea. There's also a handful of scraps in here that I will try and use some of those up. I love to use my scraps, and it is my goal for 2022 to use multiple scraps on every layout. And then I still have quite a bit of my 12 by 12 sticker sheet from the project pad. And then I also have this, the sticker sheet, and I have quite a few of them. I've used a handful, but I still have quite a few, including some of these border strips, and there are borders on this layout, so I may use one of these, or I may use one of my scraps. And then my ephemera box is from one of her ephemera kits, and I also have my stickers back here. How did those get upside down? That are left over, and I had enough of them to where I could cut them and fit them in to this little container, which is a good way for me to keep up with all the different collections. So I plan on predominantly, if not completely, using just the Vicki Boutin Color Study collection. I've got plenty to work with, so I would like to do that. And then the three pictures that I am going to be scrapbooking are these three pictures of my daughter getting her very first tattoo that she got the concept offline, but adjusted it and worked some of it a little bit on her own. So it was partially her design as well. So that, and so these, I believe I can cut down to a 4x4, which is what I was aiming for, since that's kind of what the sketch really leads me to believe, is that they are squared off 4x4s. So I have my sketch, I have my pictures, I've got lots of papers and ephemera. So let's see how this goes. So the first thing that I did was pull out this paper that, of course, I knew I was going to use, and debated on what I wanted as my background mat. So I started flipping through and decided I wanted one of these. They're not solid. They are almost like mixed media papers. And since there's going to be so much color in the pie, or the pie chart, I wanted to go ahead with that white background, which is what that pie chart is pretty much on this paper. So I knew it was going to look good together, because that's what it is I'm pretty much laying on now. So I didn't make you watch me fussy cut that whole thing, and I will keep that circle and use that for something. I am certain of that. So I lay it down on the 12 by 12 and it's huge. Like, it is taking up so much space, and the sketch, which you can see over there to the left, is significantly smaller. So I go ahead and cut my pictures down because I want to get an idea for how they're going to look on this pie chart. And once I get them laid on there and kind of decide what I want to do, I determine that I am going to cut the top. There's little black circles all the way around, which made this so easy. I'm not very good at cutting circles, and so having that guideline was fantastic. So I cut the first couple of lines off, and I will also be using that on a future layout. So it makes it smaller, and I lay it down to see how it's going to look, and look, it's Pac-Man. So I also have cut the teal and the lime green pie pieces out. Those are going to be some accent colors on the rest of it, so I thought that I'd cut those out so they would be more obvious on the page, since they're pulled away from the rest of the colors. So then I'm looking at the sketch better, and the pie chart is matted twice. So I pull out this black at first, and then under further look, I can tell the background paper is matted where it's got that scallop there. So there's another layer, and then the pie chart has another layer. So there's a full circle, and then the pie chart is matted. And so I'm trying to figure out exactly what other papers I want to use. So I decide that I'm going to use this white and black floral. It's got lots of teal in it, which, like I said, is one of my focal colors on the layout. And I think it's going to look really good with this white. So instead of doing a scallop border, I tear about a ½ an inch off one side, and then trim a ½ an inch off the bottom, so that when I mat it on that floral paper, I will have approximately a ½ inch around. I say approximate because I don't always measure, and because I did a tear on the side. So I get it to where I like the border, and I gut that floral, I keep wanting to say butterfly, that floral paper out. And at this point, I don't know what I'm going to use the floral for. It could be in the future layout or whatever. So I've just set it aside, and I go ahead and mat my torn paper. It's like a watercolor paper. So I decide that this inner part that I gutted is the perfect size for matting my pie chart. So I'm bringing that color from the back forward. It's just a thin border, maybe a ½ an inch of a border for the most part. So I mat that, I put that down and cut around it. And then I'm going to lay that down and cut the full circle from the black paper. So it's going to stand out better against the white watercolor looking paper. So I cut all the way around the circle, and then cut the pie piece out where the teal and the green are, because that is how it looks in the sketch, and I love the way the sketch looks. However, the entire thing is matted, so I take that piece that's been cut out, and it does not, it's not big enough to mat the two pieces, obviously. So I decide, since I want them to kind of stand out anyway, I get this other floral that is bright colors and has very similar florals to the black and white with the teal, and I mat them on that. And I love the way that it turned out, because like I said, it brings your eye to those two pieces. So they are attention grabbing. And so then I lay the whole thing down and I cut around. Now when I get to the part where the opening is, I stop and do like a wide cut, and then go back with the piece that I did a nice neat cut around. and use that as my guide to finish the circle. Because if I had tried to cut that just eyeballing, it would be atrocious. Atrocious. I cannot cut circles. I'm not kidding. If I felt like turning my Cricut on, I could have done that and cut the circle in the size I needed. I just wasn't going to do that. So I used my marking pencil and just mark around. Now, look, it's not perfect. And if you're paying too much attention or in the close-up, you're going to tell that it's a little wonky. I mean, I can tell from here and through the video. So it is definitely not a perfect circle, but it's pretty close. I mean, I'm pretty proud of myself because, like I said, terrible at it. So I put the pie pieces back and have them coming out like in the sketch. Maybe not as far, but close. And I've altered them a little. I put one in a little further than the other. Then I get my pictures down. I realize that they're a little big, but I can't cut them down too much. So the one of my brother-in-law actually doing the tattoo I left is 4x4. The one, oh no, I'm sorry. The one of the tattoo, nope, I was right. The one of my brother-in-law putting the tattoo on is a 4x4. The one of the tattoo, being placed on like the paper is a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I couldn't cut it down too much, or I'd have cut too much of the tattoo. If you've never gotten a tattoo, they trace it out on this special paper and then lay it down on your skin, and that's how they get the drawing on there. And so that is what he's doing in that picture. And right now it's on the top, and when I'm done, it's down on the bottom. And it's not how I meant for that to be, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. I kind of was going to be turned the other direction, but it is fine. It's all the same experience, and I'm okay with that. So I mat all of that stuff up, and then I decide I'm going to use one of the stickers from the sticker sheet I have for the border, and then I wanted to put another border down on there as well, and I use a piece of the scraps that I have in that purple and make it about 3/4 of an inch so that there is purple on both sides. And then I get the pictures matted down, and this must be where I flip-flop them. And like I said, it doesn't really matter. The first step is to trace out that the drawing and then put it down, and then the second picture would have been him actually doing the inking, but that's okay. It's all good. I'm not worried about it. At least it's not upside down. I've done that before. It's fine. So I get that tacked down, and I have got the one picture is matted on a green and white paper. The other one is matted on that floral that I used for the pie pieces. And then the picture of the finished tattoo is matted on the green and then the floral. And here in a minute, I'm going to put fun foam under that and pop it up. So it's kind of like more of a focal point because it is got the dimension to it. So I put the pie pieces down. I get everything tacked down on the paper. And when I lay that piece down, because there's so much paper, there's 3 layers of paper on that pie chart, the tattoo picture seems to be dipping. And I don't really like that so much. So that's when I decided I would go ahead and put the fun foam on there. And here's where I obviously put the pictures on. And that is fine. I've said it more than once, so maybe it's not fine. No, I'm just kidding. It is fine. So I get out my double-sided tape, and I get a piece of 3x3 fun foam. Well, I cut it down to about 3x3. Put it in the middle, and I'm going to put that up at the top. And I don't put it down just yet because I'm not sure if I want to tuck something behind it, and it's harder to tuck fun foam under the fun foam. So I get the other 2 pictures are tacked down because they're tacked down straight down the middle so that I can still lift it up and tuck things if I want. So I pull out this Vicki Boutin sticker sheet, and I'm trying to decide if there's anything on here that I want to add. And I pull a word off or word phrase that says "love it," and I put that down on the picture of the tattoo. And I do put double-sided tape on there. You just didn't see that. And then I get into my little stash and pull some stickers from my sticker sheets. And those are all upside down over there on the right. And I'm going to put those down in a minute. But first, I want to make 2 tags. And I'm using scraps from the Vicki Boutin collection and make scraps on these little graph papers. And I am going to put those down. One is up on the top right there. And in the sketch, it comes over pretty much like I have it. And then the other one is coming down from the picture at the bottom. And I did that pretty similarly, but I tilted it some. And I have to pull the pie chart up a little bit to get it under there because it's kind of big. I could have just trimmed the tag, but I didn't. I just pulled it up and then put a little extra tape under there. And so I pull this little paintbrush with some paint and put it over part of the picture. And then I have this box of crayons that says color outside the lines. And I love that. I thought it was very fitting. Not that my brother-in-law colored outside the lines with the tattoo, but I thought the concept was good. So I matted it on a little of that purple that is in the border strip. And then I put it up on foam, and it's right underneath that picture on the bottom. Then I got some word phrases and, I have some washi tape. And in the sketch, there's a little piece of washi tape in the middle of both the tags and underneath the third picture over on the top right. And I did all of that except I didn't put any on that top tag because I didn't want to cover the rainbow I already had and it kind of looked silly anywhere else. So I actually took the washi and put a little piece of washi tape in the bottom right corner, and it's rainbow. It's not part of this collection, but I felt like, you know, a rainbow is a rainbow is a rainbow. So I get out this little circle that is a pie chart, like an off-kiltered pie chart from the Vicki Boutin collection, and put that down up with the rainbow and the paintbrush. And I put a little sticker that says amazing. And then I put another sticker down on the bottom piece of washi that says create. And another little black sticker on the tag by the washi that says special day. And then I am looking to see if there's anything else in my ephemera kit that I want to add to this. I did add a flower and a collection of flowers that matches the paper that I've used to accent the one picture or the 2 pictures and the pie chart. And I tried to use that So Noted or Very Good Day as my title, but it just didn't sound right to me. It's not what I wanted. So I pulled out this sticker collection, and I was going to tell you what collection it is, but now I can't find it. It is one of my thickers, and I pull this Stay Colorful, and I love that. I feel like that's perfect. It's got the circle. So then after I get done with that, I am about to show you the close-ups and realize that I want some enamel dots on here. That Stay Colorful came from the Thickers Groovy. So I get my enamel dots out. Some of them are from Park Lane, the ones in the top left corner, and some of them are from the Paper Studio, which is the ones in the bottom right and the top right. And I am going to go back. I did not add one on top of that tag hole. I promise I cover that with an enamel dot. And here are the close-ups. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping.